Hello, this is SunriseGameDev and welcome back to part 2 of my 2D science shooting game tutorial in Scratch. In this tutorial, we are going to keep building the game by adding the bullet spawning system, setting up a space lock so the player can only shoot one bullet per spacebar press instead of holding it down like a machine gun, and creating the melee enemy spawning system. Alright, let's jump in and start building. We move to step 4, spawning bullet. Now, click on the bullet sprite. First, add when green flag click, and then hide, so the bullet is hidden at the start of the game. Next, add when I receive spawn bullet, because we already made this broadcast message in the player script, and under it, add create clone of myself. After that, add when I start as a clone, then add show so the bullet appear when it spawns. Now, we need to decide where the bullet should spawn from. Add go to player, then move 45 steps. And set the bullet to point in direction of the player's direction, so the bullet always shoots the same way the player is facing. Then, add a forever loop and put move 10 steps inside it, which will control the bullet speed. Now, we need the bullet to disappear when it hits something. Add an if block and use two OR operators so the condition becomes touching melee enemy or touching range enemy or touching edge. And if that happens, delete this clone. Now, let's test it. You may notice that when the player faces left, the bullets sometimes spawn behind the player, which looks wrong. To fix this, we place the move 45 step part with an if-else block. If the player's direction equals 90, meaning the player is facing right, then move 15 steps. Otherwise, move 45 steps. This way, the bullet will always spawn in front of the player no matter which direction they face. Finally, you may notice the player can shoot continuously like a machine gun when you hold the spacebar. If you want the player to shoot only once per spacebar press, then we have to move to step 5, where we add a space lock. The whole idea is we create a variable called SpaceLock and set it to 0 at the start. When the spacebar is pressed, we only allow one shot if SpaceLock is still 0. Then we immediately set SpaceLock to 1 to lock the shooting. After you release the spacebar, we reset SpaceLock back to 0, so the next press can shoot again. Now, click on the player's sprite and create a variable named SpaceLock. In your movement script, add an if-else block. If the space speed is pressed, add another if block inside it that checks if SpaceLock equals 0. If it is 0, set SpaceLock to 1 and broadcast spawn bullet. In the else part of the first if-else block, which means the space key is not pressed, set SpaceLock back to 0. Now, when you test the game, you will see that holding the spacebar will not become a machine gun, and only one bullet will spawn for each press of the spacebar. Now, we move to step 6, melee enemy spawning. First, we create a variable called melee spawn time. Then, click on the stage and set melee spawn time to 3. So, a melee enemy will spawn every 3 seconds. Next, click on the melee enemy sprite. Add when green flag click, then hide. Then add a forever loop. Inside the forever loop, and wait melee spawn time seconds. Then create clone of myself. After that, add when I start as a clone, then show. And set rotation style to left-right. Now, we want the melee enemy to spawn from the edge of the screen. Add an if-else block and use pick random 1 to 2 equals 1. If it equals 1, go to x equals -220 and set y to pick random min y to max y, so it spawns at a random height within the boundaries. Otherwise, go to x equals 220 and set y to pick random minimum y to maximum y as well. And when it spawns on the right side, make it point in direction -90 so it faces left. Next, add an forever loop for the enemy movement. Inside it, add point towards player, then move 0.5 steps, which will be the movement speed for the melee enemy. Then add an if block, so if it is touching the bullet, delete this clone, meaning the melee enemy will disappear when it gets hit. Finally, go back to the bullet sprite and add a wait 0.01 seconds right after the touching condition, so the bullet does not disappear too fast before the enemy clone has time to delete properly. Now, let's test it out. Thanks for watching this video, and in the next video, I will show you how to create a ranged enemy. If you enjoy it, please like and subscribe for more videos, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!